Hello, everybody. This is XX and the Double XX here, and welcome to for 2 rating. Oh, shut up. Fuck off. Alright, anyway, so I'm gonna go through part 1 right now, and then part 2 I'll do in a few minutes. So part 1 basically is plants tier for Gun Warfare 2. I have played Gun Warfare 2 for over 6 years now. Well, at least 6 years. So let's go through a ranking now, because you know what? I know it's later than expected, but it has to be done before the game officially died, I think, a few years ago. So let's get straight into it. So let's go through the basics, and let's go through the characters I want to talk about on this list. A few of them are, let's go for the F tier. Let's go through here, then we'll go up to S tier, SS tier, alright? So let's get straight into it. So, Electrocentron being F tier, I think personally, ever since the Citron change, it has affected 2 Citrons, or 3. 1, Electrocentron, 2, Toxic Citron, and 3, Party Citron. And here's why I'll go for Party Citron, but Electrocentron is one of the reasons why I put him down here. He's just... his charge doesn't work now. It used to be broken as hell, but now he's just gone down the drain again. And I think it doesn't do enough. But up close he does great, but there's not long range or mid range. He does nothing. The only thing he's good at is close range, and that doesn't really help. Alright, so that's it for F tier. D tier. Let's go through 2 characters, Toxic Citron and Rock P. Toxic Citron is down there for one reason. He doesn't get the job done most of the time. Sure, you can say he does time and time again, thanks to his toxic damage. That's it. Like, his primary stinks, and his close range, it doesn't really help. Rock Please down there because of one reason. He's actually for a few reasons. 1, he's hella slow. Like all the armored plants, he is hella slow. 2, and most importantly number 2, he doesn't get the job done. Because his splash and crit don't do enough. And that's it. It doesn't help. Alright, let's just get those out of the way. C tier. Let's talk about a few characters on here. The ones I want to point out are Barbecue Corn, Armor Chopper, Chomp Thing, Ice P, and Power Chomper. Let's get those out of the way first. Barbecue Corn's down there because the only thing that saves him is fire damage, and his primary that can be okay. He was close to going into the D tier. He was that close, but his fire damage saves him. All right, so let's get through that one. Armor Chopper is up there. He used to be D tier, but once I played around with him a little bit, here's the thing I like about him. When there's a mech right there, goop, and then once you goop him and bite him to death, you can drain the mech's health down to like below 50%, and that's great. That's good. That's actually really good. If any of you have not tried that yet, go try that out, because I have done that before, and it's great. Well, the only thing that didn't put him in D tier is that his damage is great, his health's good, but he's hella slow. So like he would be down there with Rock P. But at least Armor Chomper can actually get the job done sometimes. Rock P doesn't really do, which is a little bit a shame for a P shooter. Chomp Thing, I think his mechanic is okay, but it's just his damage stinks, hey? His damage sucks. His spray sucks. And the only thing that's good about him is how he works. His regeneration is faster than any other Chomper. And that's it. That's it. Ice P is down here because her splash doesn't really do any much. And her crit doesn't do much either, but she's an ice variant, so Ice P can really get the job done. Can really get the job done on some occasions, but not all of it, eh? It's a little bit... it's more of that. Power Chopper is down here because his spray doesn't do enough. I think his damage is it's more of an but his chain damage can sometimes work if used correctly. And that's pretty much it. All the rest of the guys are self-explanatory. I just don't use them. Now let's go for B tier. Oh boy, here we go for now we get to the controversial parts. So let's go through a couple of characters I put in this list. Citron is up there because his primary, even though it sucks at long range, mid and close, he does okay. He does good damage. Jade Cactus is up there because if you use him correctly, he's one of the most technical cactuses in the game. I think he is technical. She is technical. Let's get that right. But I think personally, doesn't do enough sometimes, but you know what? It works out. Metal Petal's up there because her damage is, even though it's lower than normal Sunflower, it does good. Can get the job done sometimes if you're accurate enough. And her health's good, but she's hella slow, so Armor Chompers, some of them are just not great. Some of them can be really that. Who else do I want to go through? Commando P. Here's why he's not an A tier. Sometimes he's not accurate if you don't use him correctly. His damage from long range and mid doesn't really get the job done. Close range, however, it does get the job done. So, hey, you know what? It works. It's hand in hand here. Toxic P. Yeah, that one's a controversial pick. Why I put him in B tier. It's controversial, but his splash doesn't do much. His crit can do something, but not his splash, which is a disappointment coming from a used to be S tier character. Mob Cobb is up down there because I don't really know the piercing works sometimes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how. But still don't know what to say about it. Phyros and Frost Rose, they both are down there for the same reasons. No one uses them, 1, 2, and most importantly, number 2. Both of them are charged characters, but they can get the job done if you use correctly. Fire Rose is a little bit less OP than Frost Rose. Frost Rose can actually do some damage, whereas Fire Rose can do damage, but it's not as accurate as Frost. And not as fast, so... Whereas Frost Rose is full charge, it goes straight for him. Whereas Fire Rose, it takes a lot less long. It takes a little bit longer. And other than that, one more, Disco Chopper. I think Disco Chopper bite damage is great, but the way he has to get his meter doesn't really work sometimes. You have to swallow them. Swallow any zombie by burrow, spikeweed, or swallowing them from behind, and then it fills up his meter. It doesn't work because it makes them do the suicide chopper stuff, and that doesn't work. So what's the point? You know, he's like one of those legendary characters where you want to toss to the side and just say, you know what, he's not great. A tier. Now this is where A tier and up. This is where all some characters start to get good, and they can actually get the job done. So here's a couple of characters I want to talk about: Unicorn, Iron, and Hot Rod. Oh boy, here we go. Hot Rod is in A tier because my only downfall with him is damage. His damage stinks. He does 25, which can be okay, but the thing that's good about him is his speed. Of course, his speed's good, so what can go wrong with him? But his damage doesn't get the job done. It's like the Disco Chomper situation, where he mostly uses Suicide Chomper, which is not good for a Hot Rod. Every time you swallow a zombie, he gains more speed, but doesn't do more damage, which is not great. But you know what? It's better than Disco, but he has less health, so it doesn't really help. Iron Citron. He used to be at the broken tier. Oh boy, he used to be broken as hell. But he's gone down a notch ever since, like I said, the Citron change, where he relies on mid and close range, and that doesn't help for a lot of characters, except for Iron Citron. I think for me, Iron Citron is still a decent character. If you use him correctly, and if you have 2 reload upgrades, you're going to get the job done. And I think he has a meter upgrade, so that really helps out a bit. Unicorn is an A tier because his 2 warps can actually help out. You can use 1 warp to get close to a zombie, and the other warp to get the hell out of there. It works out. Commando Corn. Yeah, he's an A tier. I used to hate on him, but after I played with him a little bit, he was actually really good. I think, personally, he can need a little bit more, but his commando mode's really, it can help out. He gains 50 ammo, and he could just fire away and just boom, you're dead. It can work out. What else do we have? Torchwood. Oh boy, here we go. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Torchwood should be an S tier." Nah, that's not what I see. A tier for one reason: his primary can get the job done. But my problem is that everyone, and I mean, I'm talking to every single one of you, use him for only his abilities, being the Blazing Blast and the Smoldering Madness. No one uses Leaf Shield. Let's get that right. They only use it just to reduce damage for turf, and that's it. Like, I don't see him used in Team Vanquish and all of that. I think he's only used as turf, and that's it. Camo Cactus. I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit questionable with this one. I think Camo Cactus damage, it does good. Like, it can just just dead. Like, it can work out. 25 normal, I think 35 crit, which is really good coming from a Cactus. Camo Cactus, actually. And it can work out in so many ways. Camo Cactus, oh boy, here we go. Camo Cactus is up there because I know that my only problem is less ammo. However, I think personally, his damage itself is decent. 33, I think it does, and then 66 crit. I don't remember. Let me know in the comments, but it can work out so many ways if you use it correctly. Now, S tier. Let's talk about a couple of these guys. Party Corn. Party Corn is up there because he is better than the normal Corn. I think the normal Corn itself is really a good character. If just no one sees it. A lot of people see it, but some people don't. Party Corn, by far, is one of the best party characters on the planet side. I think personally, he can get the job done. He has the exact same ammo, I think, or I think a little bit less than normal Corn, and his damage is pretty much the same. And then the Share Vanquish Party Time stuff, that really helps him out a bit. So, Party Corn overall is an incredible character. Can't get the job done. Agent P. Oh boy, here we go. All the pros use him. And, yeah, a lot of the pros do use him. And I think Agent P is one of the decent plants and feature-wise. Like Law P and Commando P, he's not a splash damage character, but his damage overall, if used correctly, you can beam people in the head. I mean, 11 base and 22 crit. However, there is a consequence for that. He has 100 health, so pretty much the same health as a normal Sunflower before the health buff. And yeah, you could die much quicker. But he overall, good damage, less health, and it's in hand. What else do I want to talk about? Plasma P. Oh my god. See, here's my thing with Plasma P. Plasma P is one of the best chargers in the game. Compared to Future Cactus and Plasma P, Future's a bit better because damage, but Plasma P's in second for me, and here's why. Plasma P's charge shot only takes one bullet. One bullet. Don't believe me? If you have seen my other videos, this Plasma P can take one bullet of a full charge, which is holy hell, that's really good. Which means, in hindsight, he has over 10 full charge shots he can do, and it only takes one ammo of it, and that's good. Necros is an A tier because how her gimmick works, and my only reasoning for not her being an SS tier, which a few of you would put her up there, my only reasoning is that in the beginning, she's not good, and she only relies on closer up. But once you get the homing upgrade, that's where she really shines. And I think most of the broses use homing upgrade. I mean, every single one of you use it. I'm looking at every single one of you. You use it. But whatever. You know what? I do think that personally, Necros was S tier, not SS, because how she works in the beginning. Like, her and Drugos too. Drugos can follow that same category as well. In the beginning, she doesn't really work, and then once you get to elite level 5, you're pretty much good to go. The two Sunflowers I put up there, Vampire and Stuffy. The reason why I put them up there is how their mechanics work. I think for Vampire, she's really good, even though she has only 85 health. I think she can get the job done. Her damage is good and decent, and how she works is that when you shoot someone with her primary, she regenerates health, like a normal vampire would. So it's really good and can get the job done. Stuffy Flower. Oh boy, here we go. Stuffy Flower, you would expect me to put her in SS tier, but here's my problem. Like a Sunflower, she has low health. However, I think her gimmick really works. Her gimmick is one of the best things I've seen from a Sunflower compared to Vampire. Both of them do really good. I think Stuffy Flower, once you kill someone, they drop Sun to regenerate health, and that can work out in so many ways. So, yeah, it can work out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Stuffy Flower. And that's it for pretty much S tier. Let's talk about the broken tier for the plants. Oh boy, here we go. A lot of these are self-explanatory, but I'll go through a couple of them. I'll go through two of them. EP is up there because of how I know he's one of the detonating characters, like Petrified Cactus up there, but holy hell, Petrified and the EP are really good. Here's why. EP because he's a pea shooter. So you got pea shooter, and let's get another one in there. He is an electric character, so whatever he does, chain damage. And that can mop the floor with a lot of zombies. And here's what I think. His detonation damage is 27, which is holy hell, that's kind of insane. And then his crit damage is 35, which is, oh boy. Oh my god. It can pretty much do this. You could go this, where he does detonation damage spam, or be a pro and just go crit damage spam. And and not only that, with all his abilities of a pea shooter and him being an electric character, which makes him a little bit faster, then it just works out pretty much every single time. And the reason he's up here instead of back here is because he is one of the fastest characters in this SS tier. The fastest one. Second fastest, Twilight. Here's why Twilight's up here. His warp is way times better than Unicorn's. He does pretty much almost the exact same damage as like Armor Chomper, just a little bit off, but like close there. And he has the speed of a Hot Rod Chomper. Well, a little bit of the speed of it at least. So basically, in Queen's English, he has Unicorn Chomper's ability, Hot Rod speed, and Armor Chomper's damage in one single Chomper. And that's disgusting. That is very disgusting. You know what, I'll go for one more. Petrified Cactus. Actually, Future Cactus. Here's why Future Cactus is an SS tier. You expect Future Cactus to be an S tier, but I beg to differ. I think SS tier. Here's why Future Cactus is up there. She can get the job done so many ways. If you're really accurate with a Cactus character, then you're going to get the job done. Future Cactus is one of them, because Future Cactus, like Zen and Petrified and Jade, all of them have Splash, and it can work out. Although the Splash doesn't really help. That's why they're a bit lower in SS tier, because the splash damage of the full charge does 30, which is not really enough, but the crit damage, oh man, it's really good. It does like it's like 90 to 120 damage, which is, no, like if you have a damage upgrade on her, I think she does 120 headshot, and that is, oh my god, it can. What else do we have? What else do we have? The charge shots. It does take up a lot of ammo, so that makes it balanced. It should have been Plasma Piece nerf too, but man, it works out. So that's the plants. Now, I'm going to do a part 2 with the zombies. I'll do a part 2 with them next, but I'll do that in a couple of hours, so we'll see how long it takes. So if you guys enjoyed this plant tier list, please like and subscribe. If you don't agree with me, let me know who do you think is OP, and let me know if you think that pretty much what's your tier list on the plants. Please do not attack me for this. This is just my opinion and for what I've been playing for the past 5 or 6 years. So please do not hate me for this. So this is XXXX.